Now the Q5 hasn't been round for a while, and that's because in expectation of BS6, Audi had phased out the older Q5 just before the pandemic struck, and then the launch of the facelift Q5 was a little delayed, but it's here now. It's got a few styling tweaks, there's a little change to the power. Let's take a look at what's new. Beginning from the outside. Catching attention and drawing you in is the big octagonal grille up front. It's much bigger, much larger, much wider, and it is center of attention. You have the vertical chrome slats down it, and that's what you'll see a lot more of around this car. Chrome and brushed aluminium, you seem to see it everywhere, even in the new headlamps. Yes, these are new LED lamps, and you have a chrome strip right across it. You also have the brushed aluminium, which is in the fog casing. Otherwise, shape, size, form is pretty much the same of the car. Coming round to the side, you get wheels that are one size up. Earlier you had 18-inch, now you have 19-inch alloys. The alloys are a bit plain Jane and old-fashioned, and smarter alloys would have added some more spark to the facelift. Again, we see addition of brushed aluminium along the bottom of the door sill. And now let's take a look at the rear. Now at the rear, you have new LED lamps with a triple element that's quite distinctive. You have brushed chrome strip right across the boot and at the diffuser. So a lot more of embellishment around the car, but otherwise it's pretty much the same. The boot space remains a very practical 550 litres, and it can swallow a fair amount of luggage. On the inside, it's a very familiar interior. The big change here, of course, is the 10.1-inch touchscreen now. So screen's grown in size and it is touch. Earlier on, you had the rotary dial. However, volume knob remains rotary, and I quite like that. The new generation MMI screen is improved from earlier versions, and while it is more responsive than before, there is still a little lag. Also, it does offer audio feedback when you access controls, but it's not haptic. On the whole, otherwise, you get the virtual cockpit, you get steering mounted controls, you get 3-zone AC, you get your charging ports, USB and USB-C. You also get the wireless charger over here. So lots of practical things around the cabin. Music system, that's a big change too. You now get a B&O 755-watt 19-speaker music system. It does make an impact, and classical music lovers will enjoy the quality of spatial sound that it offers. Also, the virtual cockpit dials are updated with higher resolution imagery and slicker animation. On the dash, where the earlier version had wooden inlay, this one has piano black. And you get a comfort key that now has memory function for your settings. So everything from temperature to seat to mirrors is adjusted to your personal setting when you get into the car. What is missing is a 360-degree camera that you got with the earlier edition, but that too was on a limited number of cars. Now, to refresh your memory of what you do get with the Q5, here's the feature list. The rear seat is the same space, so good amount of leg room, headroom, and it is a comfortable place to be like before, but for two. Third passenger will find it a bit difficult. Although there is seat space, they'll have to sit with their legs astride this very large central tunnel that is over there. On comfort, you get sun blinds. Nice on a sunny day like this. You get armrest with cup holders. You get 3-zone climate control as well, and a 12-volt charger. And of course, to enjoy the view, there is that massive panoramic sunroof. Mechanically, nothing has changed except for the fact that the engine is now BS6. It is the same one as earlier, but with a little power tweak. So this has the 2-litre engine, which we've seen in the A4 and A6 as well, but of course the power is different. This has 249 HP, which is a little lower than before, and that's because of BS6. But honestly, you really can't feel it. This is an extremely refined engine. It still feels nice and strong. You get a good shove of power after 2000 RPM. and it has a very nice strong mid-range. The gearbox is also quick to react. On a winding section of road like this, you have the paddles and the power, so it's really fun to drive. It is a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, and the Q5 is also quattro all-wheel drive. There are once again drive select modes, including off-road, which sets you in lower gears, and auto engages hill descent control. So the Q5 can handle a fair bit of the rough stuff. It's just effortless power delivery. Whenever you need a dose of power served up, it is. And so, whether you're ambling and want to tuck into a traffic gap, or whether you're cruising and want a burst of power for an overtake, you always get it. The engine and gearbox work well in sync to ensure performance is never lacking. And despite the tire size being larger, these are 19-inch wheels now, where the earlier one had 18. The ride quality is still very good. I mean, this softens the blows really well. You don't feel bad road. Genuinely is comfortable. It is on the softer side, and it may not be an enthusiast's choice, but as far as SUVs go, it does tackle a winding road impressively enough to enjoy a good drive. Steering's not sharp or sporty, but it's predictable and gives you a good amount of confidence. The Q5 hasn't changed much, and while it may not excel or shine in one particular area, what it does is combine driving pleasure with comfort and practicality in good measures, which is what made it popular in the first place. And now, with the addition of a few features and a new look, it's just gotten better.